Hey everyone, Tech here. Welcome to Tech's Tavern. Grab a brew, pull up a chair, and let's continue our Let's Play on Crusader Kings 2, Croatia. And a couple things to begin with on this episode. First of all, things have been going pretty well with our new king, Dmitaro, who has not been ruling for too terribly long. But 1181, we're like a year, we're really close to hitting the 10 years. We have a couple things we're going to try to do on this episode, but the main one is we're trying to initiate a secession law change on Hungary. Currently on Croatia, everything is set up theoretically how we want it right now. We have our second son, Justin, who is set to be the king. We don't want our first son because he is a imbecile. So we're trying to skip over him, and that's an issue we'll have to deal with at some point, but right now we don't have to. Our vassals, everybody is happy with us right now. All of our vassals are in the green right now. So we're doing very well in that regard. Our money's doing fairly well. So our second son is the one we're wanting to try to set up. But we want to change the Hungary secession law to be elective also, because currently it's seniority, and that doesn't work for us right now. So we need to change it to elective. Now, if we hover over here, again, as I showed in the last episode, we meet all the requirements, including no vassals, no vassal count or above has a negative opinion of you. So we have corrected that through bribery and backhanded shenanigans in the alleyways and bars and taverns throughout the land. So we have taken care of that. Right now, the one thing we're trying to get done is to reign for 10 years, which, again, we're about a year away from that. So we are doing very well overall in those regards. Our military is decent right now. We're about a little over 16k overall. Trying to do some upgrades. As you can see here, we have some medium stone walls going on, I think, in like Zagreb, for instance, which, as you can see, those are the medium stone walls. They take a while, but you can see they increase levy size, tax income, fort level, you know, all kinds of yummy things, which is exactly what we want. A few things, comments from the last video. I know some people were saying, like, I've had a lot of people say I should try to get Venice, I believe, over here, which is interesting, because there's some big money coming up out of there, but that's something I'll keep in mind. Another one is Korshan here, because we can attack these guys straight out by declaring holy war on them. So we could get these 4 counties or whatever stretched through here, which is an idea. Can't do anything about that. We have this here too, which I guess actually that's him at war with. Oh, Byzantine Empire's already hitting him. Oh, that's kind of a. But the problem is I almost hesitate right this second to attack anybody, because I'm afraid Byzantine, the current empress here, this Dionysia, or whatever you want to call her, we'll let the clock run kind of slow while I'm doing all this talking. She doesn't have a very good opinion of me, and I'm afraid that as soon as I oh, those all finished at the same time. As soon as I try to attack anybody, she's going to jump at the opportunity and invade. So I do have, I believe my chancellor is there trying to improve diplomatic relations to try to keep things somewhat under control. However, I did find one very interesting tidbit I think a few of you will find interesting and somewhat alarming, is if you actually look at her heir, this Princess Alexandra, who's also her spy master, but she's the current heir. If you look at her husband, her husband is the heir to the kingdom of Ruthenia. That is a bit scary. That might change some of the voting there. Dalmatia. Okay. Okay, we're getting close on that. A famous writer proposes to compose your family chronicles. That sounds like an excellent idea. We'll get the proud trait. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We get monthly prestige gain out of it. If we ignore him, we take a big hit with everybody, so we will go ahead and do that. Most excellent. Everybody shall know of our history by the book he writes or watching all 82 episodes of my series as it goes to date. So yeah, the heir to the Byzantine Empire is married to the heir of the Ruthenia Empire, which is a very Duchy of Transylvania is a very kind of alarming situation. So I'm not really sure how that's all going to shake out either. You know, Ruthenia I've been on pretty good terms with overall. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I mean, I could go after Poland. Religious differences. Oh, because they do Orthodox. Okay. So yeah, there's some tricky things going on right now, and I'm definitely open to any other suggestions and ideas. There were some other comments in the last video. Somebody put up some kind of negative comments about a few things and then took them down, I think. But one of my longtime subscribers, Geckomes, I believe, kind of explained some stuff was in regards to some of the upgrades, which was something I kind of vaguely remembered reading somewhere else as well, because they were talking about doing more upgrades in the other provinces, the city provinces and bishoprics and what bases, rather than just focusing on your capital. And Geckomes explains it. I guess you could look at his comment on the last video, but I do recall reading that somewhere before where someone had explained it. But anyway, I mean, through haphazard, play of my own, I guess I was kind of doing it somewhat to the right degree. But I had always heard, and I think that was something that kind of carried over from Sengoku a bit, but I could be incorrect on that as well, where focusing on your capitals typically got you the best return in general. So yeah, so we're moving along pretty good. We're kind of just trying to get to that date, which I think is August. So we'll go ahead and speed it up a little bit. We're getting fairly close to that. So really, yeah, that's kind of the situation we're at. Princess Brandy of Hungary is now of legal age. She became a flamboyant schemer. There's a trivia note for you. I think back when I named this this daughter, and I named her Brandy. That's named after a now deceased golden retriever we used to own a couple years ago that passed away. So I'm not making any kind of ties there saying that she's ugly as a dog or anything. I'm just pointing out where the origin of the name came from. What happened to Conan? Something happened to Conan. It's no longer guardian of Prince Conan of... Oh, okay. What's our council look like again? Not bad. Crusade for Jerusalem. His Holiness Pope Simeon II has been swayed by the cries for help from the Christian population in the Kingdom of Jerusalem. He urges all able-bodied men of Europe to take up arms against the evil Caliph Jalaluddin of Jalaluddin Empire in order to secure Jerusalem from the clutches of the Mohammedan. Man, I just butchered the hell out of that. Okay. God will grant the pilgrims remission of sins in heaven. So there you go. Sorry, I butchered that so horribly. Nah, I'm not gonna hunt for another one on that. This dude has a pimpin' ZZ Top beard, so he can stay steward as long as he has that beard. If he shaves it off, I'm gonna replace him. Ungvar's offer to join the Catholic Crusade for Jerusalem. Hey, you go, Ungvar. Knock yourself out. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's pause. Okay. All is go for us to attempt this. This is the main part of what we wanted to try to accomplish on this episode. This is talking about the ruler and each lower rank vassal, i.e. the dukes, if the ruler is a king, can nominate a successor from among themselves and legitimate children and siblings of the ruler. Dukes are valid electors in both kingdoms and empires. Elective succession is very popular with the vassals, but they will not approve of their liege if their liege personally holds too many elector titles. So there you go. And it says changing succession line will displease all vassals, especially those who stand to lose. So we may have a little bit of backlash from it, but we're typically pretty good at covering that up. So we will do this. And that's what I just read, basically. So there we go. So let's let it run for just a couple seconds and then pause again. And we want to nominate, I don't know if I could do it by just clicking on there, but Justin is the one we're nominating, not Gabriel. If we elect Gabriel, he'll pass a law saying that donkey innards can be hung on the walls and monkey innards can be hung on the back of donkeys or something ridiculous. Okay, so Justin is who we are nominating. So then now we have Justin lined up on both. That is how we want it for now. And if we start running into issues with Gabriel later, we will send Guido to take care of the problem. There we go. Bada bang. That's what I'm talking about. Man, me and the wife are doing good on this one. That's what I'm talking about. I saw somebody made a comment too in the last video saying that Dmitaro looks like he's set up to do pretty well, and I have to agree. We're set up pretty well. It's just the problem is I feel. Oh, look, Byzantine took it. Jeez. We were a little slow on that plan. We need to keep checking to see if she quirks off too. We may have to, I mean, we may have to resort to some, yeah, all this jockeying is going on right now. And that doesn't look good. The Teutonic Order, the Order of the Brothers of the German House of St. Mary in Jerusalem, has been formed, sponsored by Pope John Paul I and the Holy Roman Emperor. The Teutonic Order, much like the Knights of the St. John and Knights Templar, primarily protect and care for the pilgrims of the Holy Land, but will serve any good Catholic ruler willing to pay for their upkeep. Being a religious order, they will not fight other Catholics. That is good to know. Okay, so let's look at what's going on here right now. Okay, so we got the Transylvania guy voting with me on Justin, but we have 3 dudes voting for the Pex dude. One of them is him voting for himself, which is lame. And then we got the Estergom and Ungvar. What a freaking surprise. Through the last, what, 30 episodes of this series, it's always, who are always the ones that are giving us trouble, right? Estergom, Ungvar. So, Estergom, is that her? Duchess Margaret? Is that who's the one that's... Okay, yeah. She has 100 opinion of me and she's not voting with me? Oh. Alright, how lame is that? It's her husband, so he's the Duke of Hex, and she's the Duchess of Estergom, and they're married, and they're both voting for each other. So there's 2 votes I'm screwed on that whole situation. Who's the other one? Okay, so God, third of Ungvar. I see assassinations in the future. Okay, he really likes me. I need you to like me more. In fact, I'm gonna give you a title. Feast and this is prestigious. Yes, I'm gonna give you this title. And we're gonna see if we can persuade him to the dark side of the voting. So again, like I was saying before, yeah, we're in a precarious situation. I want to watch and see what happens with this situation when she passes away, because she should pass away at some point. See if they have another revolt and see if we get any opportunities. But it's like, didn't this already happen? Okay, that's sort of strange. This happened once already. Okay. Let's take a quick pause and look at our vassals and see what changed when we did that vote. Well, everybody is still in the positive, actually. If anything, they're higher, because before we had like an 8 or something to that effect. So we're actually doing very well still. But like I said, that I've tried to get to like 3 times now, is it's hard to try to make moves on anything right now, because I'm just afraid that Byzantine is just sitting there waiting. Okay, who are they attacking with a 10,000 death stack? Defending against King Morteza of Georgia and the Georgia Holy War. Okay, so they're fighting against these guys. They're fighting back down here. Maybe those guys can take it to them a little bit. Should be interesting. They need to get their damn troops out of my land. That's what they need to be doing. That's almost one of those kind of things I wish there was maybe a small mechanic to the game, and I don't know if maybe some of the expansions have enlightened on that, is, you know, setting up hardcore borders for saying, you know, do not come through here without our permission, or paying a levy of some sort or something to that effect. But I'll take a quick look around. I know some people are always interested in what's going on around the world. France is really fell apart so far. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to comment on is a few people made a comment about my disbanding of another son. My disbanding of Serbia. There was nothing against Serbia. Again, it was strictly a strategic thing that I didn't want to have to fight for my successor in 3 places. I only wanted to do it in 2. So that was really all there was to it. It wasn't anything that I didn't like Serbia or anything. So this is going to be our 3rd son, who will be the backup plan. So we're going to name this guy Skeletor. No. We'll just go with what's another good? Here, Ulf Hedgen. This is one of my subscribers. We'll see if he ever actually... We'll see what he becomes through the course of the game. Alright, the Dukes for Hungry faction. Oh my goodness. I don't see that vote flip-flopping anymore. Let's go Nitria. I guess I need to work on him a little bit too. Okay. Well, we got try to work on those guys a little bit. Oh, she has humble versus proud, so that dropped it another chunk. That's fine. Okay, well, like I said, that's where we're at right now. We did get the law change, although the vote isn't quite going our direction quite yet, but we will hopefully get that sorted out at some point. At some point, I probably should. See, that's a Kongsor guy also. Dujam. Dalmatia. That's down here somewhere, right? Where's... Dalmatia, that's these down here, right? That's what I thought it was. Yeah, we're gonna send him a gift real quick. My liege, I have tried to make Duchess Martha First Estergom realize what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you are, but sinister forces at her court have been hard at work to discredit my every move, distort my every word. I'm afraid that in the end, the visit seems to have done more harm than good. Okay. That's probably not good. But we're still at 100. She was insulted, but she's still at 100 anyway. I probably need to get him out of there. The religious stuff is sorted. So actually, we need him to... concerned that she's still not married. Okay. Pause. Let's just clean this up real quick. Get him out of there. I should bring my Chancellor back and try to get him to work on relations a bit. But I think we'll work on that in the next episode. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll break it right there. But we are kind of getting back on track. We did get our law changed. Now I think we just have to work on a few backdoor shenanigans to try to get some of this stuff lined up a little bit better. Maybe take care of Gabriel, possibly. We have to try to get those votes swung in Hungary to our direction. We got one, but we need to swing another one. And maybe some of those will swing eventually, Ungvar or this one, because I just hit both of them with titles, so maybe it might swing my direction eventually. But we'll have to watch it, and if it doesn't seem like after another 10 years or so, if things don't start leaning in our direction, we may have to take more direct routes at trying to get those results. So, but anyway, we will go ahead and stop it there, and I will catch you guys all in the tavern on the next one. Thanks for watching.